Hi everyone, I am Susie Weiland and I am a Silver Ambassador with Plexus, working to get to gold. I was asked to do this video by Jamie because I was recognized in the leader email as one of our top enrollers this week. So I can honestly say that when Jamie first asked me to do this video, or how I even accomplished this goal, my first thought was, but first off, let me say that I am very, very honored by this. It was very shocking, kind of a surprise. It wasn't really a goal that I had, but it's nice to accomplish something and be surprised by it, especially with all the hard work that you put into it. So I actually sat down and really reflected on everything, all the activities that I've been up to this month to try and add new people to my team. So this month, at the beginning of the month, I was challenged by my sponsor, Melissa, to participate in income-producing activities. One of those was actually posting daily on Facebook about Plexus, as well as reaching out to 2 new people and telling them about Plexus products every day. So the Facebook thing, I'm not going to lie, I was not too enthusiastic about, but it was doable. The second thing of reaching out to 2 new people about Plexus every day was uncomfortable, but again, doable. So, of course, I said challenge accepted, and I started. I can say that after 7 days of uncomfortable activities, it actually started to become a habit that I looked forward to. So sometimes, what did that mean, these IPAs? Sometimes that meant just bringing Plexus up in a conversation, which I actually found pretty easy to do if I just listened to what other people were saying instead of trying to figure out, how can I bring this up and what can I say back to them? I just sat and listened. I really never had to bring it up out of the blue. Surprisingly, it came up in conversation, some kind of topic, whether it was about weight loss, whether it was about struggles in their health. And so that's how I brought it up. Other times, what that really meant was really paying close attention to what my friends on Facebook were posting and reaching out to them through private messages. And I was really, really intentional with my cold contacts. Sometimes, obviously, I couldn't organically reach out to people, so I had to contact them out of the blue. So what I first did was I really just reached out to them and honestly shared my struggles with health, and that I wanted to make sure that they knew that this wasn't a sale for me, but truly in my heart, I wanted to help them find relief with their struggles. So this came in forms of texts, calls, and of course, Facebook messages. One of my favorite features on Facebook Messenger is absolutely the ability to leave a voicemail. So, I would always type everything out for people in a Facebook message first and let them know why I chose Plexus and so forth. And then I would end that Facebook message with maybe a 30-second voice message, just so that they can hear the excitement and the sincerity in my voice. I think that's really, really important, because really when people are reading things, whether it be via text or Facebook messages, it's hard to, or it's rather open for interpretation. So in addition to those IPAs, I actually invited potentials, made sure to invite potentials to online events. Let me be clear, there wasn't one person that signed up with me on my first contact with them, right? So follow-ups are crucial. Obviously, you've heard the saying, it's the fortunes in the follow-up. So I really, really, truly believe that. Sometimes I would follow up every couple of days, and then other times it might be once a week. But I think it's important to know the people that you're reaching out to. And so that's what I kept in mind. I actually had one person I had reached out to mid-December. It went really nowhere. She didn't really close the door on it, but she said, well, just, right now it's not time for me. It doesn't work with my budget. And so I kept following up with her, and I used the opportunities of live webcasts and online events. And actually, she ended up signing up during a live webcast after she heard some wonderful testimonies from our team. And then next, what really, really made me accomplish my goals was I did a launch event at my home. And I understand that launch events can be completely hit or miss, but I really, really love face-to-face events. I actually prefer them. And I really like hosting things in my home. I always tell my husband that what's the point of having this cozy home if I can't invite people to it? So I wanted my launch event, first and foremost, to be very laid back. I didn't want it to feel like I was pushing products on anyone or that I had this horrible ulterior motive. So what I did was I labeled it as a ladies' night, and I invited people just on Facebook, but first I made sure to reach out to them either in person or via text so that they knew that they were about to get the invite. I think that's important to mention as well. And what I said in the invite was that I wanted to kind of celebrate the close of the holidays and the beginning of a new year, especially because the holiday time is so hectic for most people. And how we would celebrate was with good food, lots of wine, and great conversations. So that is how I basically labeled it. But I did make sure to mention in there that, I'm sure you've been seeing me post about Plexus, and so if you're curious as to what the hype is all about, definitely join us for this ladies' night, because I will have a friend of mine who has some great stories about how Plexus has affected and helped her family. So I put that in there. And then I used the event as follow-up opportunities, right? So I added a bunch of people, and I can tell you that up to the week of, hardly anyone had actually accepted my invite. So I was thinking, okay, I was debating, do I cancel it? What do I do? So what I did was I just reached out to people one-on-one, right? I had already kind of contacted these people about Plexus some way or another, or they saw my posts and liked them on Facebook. So I reached out to them and said, hey, I am really hoping that you were able to come this weekend. So can you let me know and confirm? And then taking it a step further, I asked them to go ahead and feel free to bring a friend. I thought that was nice, nice to have for people, because I think oftentimes, even including for myself, who is actually quite extroverted, there's a comfort in making sure you know someone there, right, besides the host. And so I wanted people to make sure that they felt comfortable, which I think encouraged them to come even more. I actually had one person bring 2 friends, so that was really nice. And I think they had a good time. At the event, we kept it so casual. The first hour of the entire event, it was us drinking wine, sitting down over some appetizers, and just really chatting about our kids or what's going on in our lives personally, and getting to know other people. So I think that really kicked it off really nice, because it was casual. It set the stage. After about an hour, I gave my testimony and my why for starting Plexus. And then my wonderful sponsor, Melissa, gave her testimony and explained all about Triplex and X Factor, and then a few other products that people were kind of curious about. So we encouraged questions, and I actually made sure to ask questions myself. It's really hard when people are afraid to ask questions or they don't want to speak up in front of everybody else. So while Melissa was actually giving her testimony and explaining the products, I asked a few questions myself so that everybody kind of was put at ease. Questions that I thought other people would end up asking or thinking anyway. We ended with my sponsor actually having an offer, and I think having an incentive is really, really important, not after the fact, but during. You have these people who actually took time out of their busy schedules to come into your home and not only spend time with you, but also listen to this great opportunity of starting these wonderful products. So we didn't want to let that enthusiasm really slip away from us. So we offered that incentive right then and there. And I think that made a huge difference with how many people ended up signing up. So after that, after the incentive was kind of put out there for everyone, I went around and I refilled drinks. Did I mention that there was wine? And we ended up answering questions one-on-one. So Melissa kind of hung out in the kitchen and I hung out in the living room, and people would come up to us and just ask questions about, personal things as it pertained to them starting the products. And along with that, what was interesting is we didn't just keep it about personal conversations related to the products, but it was actually great to get to know people. It opened up an avenue for people to tell us about their health journeys and their struggles. I really enjoyed getting to know my friends and acquaintances on a different personal level. I learned a lot about people that came to my home that night, and I think that they learned about me as well, just opening up and keeping myself vulnerable for them. So I had my laptop, and we just kind of sat back and chatted, and then one person ended up saying, okay, I am ready to join. And so I went to my website and I got her started, and while that person was signing up, I was talking to other people while Melissa was talking to others, and then another person, and next thing you know, we ended up signing 4 people that night as my level 1s and 1 level 2 as well. So those are all the tips that I have. I think that what's the most important thing about success here is being intentional, but also being sincere. And I really believe in these products, and they've actually helped me so far. And I pray for everybody on the team and everybody that I reach out to, because I really want them to get relief from their struggles that they've been dealing with. So there is sincerity, and I think people just know that and they realize that. So I hope these tips have helped you, and good luck to everybody on your Plexus business journey.